How are y'all doing today? Okay, kind of falling asleep on us here. I'll speak just very briefly on leadership as it relates to a humble nature. We tend to look at leaders as people who are bold and decisive, somewhat self-centered, very arrogant. The reality is the best leaders out there have a very humble nature that they list among their attributes. A leader is all about the team, the success of the organization. And they have to look at the individuals in their organization to really make it flourish. Way back in the day, I obviously come from a military background, given my position, of course. Went through a little thing we call the basic school back in Virginia. That's where they train Marine officers. The very first thing they train you to do is work in small units. They teach small unit leadership. And the very first thing you begin to realize is that the most important assets you have at your disposal are the people in your unit. And you start to look to them for information, for guidance and direction. You're the person in charge, but they have ideas too. Sat in a lot of meetings, sat in a lot of briefings and so forth, led a lot of them. And probably the most intelligent thing I've ever been able to utter in a meeting is, what do you guys think? Because that's when the information starts to flow. And you start to get all of the good ideas. And then you can assemble them and put together the best plan. But leaders think from the perspective that we are a lot smarter than I am. We have a lot more and a lot better ideas than I do. And if I tap into those resources, we are going to be successful. From an education perspective, because really that's why we're all here. People, you all are here to learn. You have to approach education with a humbleness about you. If you're not open to ideas, open to discussions, open to receive that information, it's not going to get in there. It's not going to stick. And you're not going to be able to utilize it down the road when you really need it. So being humble is an important part of leadership, of education, of truly everything we do. Professor Cleveland brought up one of his quotes there. Something that the further along in life you get, the more you realize how challenging life can be. I realize the more I learn, the more education I receive, the more knowledge I try to cram into my head, the more I realize how much I really don't know. You know, as our little circle of knowledge, little sphere of knowledge tends to expand, so does the rest of the universe. And you realize that there's a lot more out there to learn. Fortunately, we got a new day tomorrow, so we can learn some more stuff. So with that, I'm going to pass it on.